When the Minnesota Vikings traded away Za'Darius Smith, not gonna lie, I was a little worried because we're just trading away a guy that had 10 sacks last year for a couple of fifth-round picks, and really to save some cap space. I was a little freaking out a little bit, but you got to take into the fact that yes, he's on the wrong side of 30. He is getting up there in age as well as he's had a couple of injury issues, and quite honestly, during the second half of the season, he was not good. Like literally, we had guys like Patrick Jones II, who we'll get into in here in a second, that really did prove their worth a lot more. And that kind of leads me into this next thing. Patrick Jones II, I think, is going to be the guy that ends up being the secret weapon for the Vikings on defense for a lot of different reasons. But the first things first is we have to look at what this player was over the last couple of years for the Vikings as a former third-round pick coming up at a Pitt a couple of years ago. So first year in the league with Zimmer, not great. I'll come out and say it. But, also at the same time, he really didn't get the time of day. 7 total tackles, really only played in 9 games. And like I said, he really did not get the opportunity to be that guy for him. So came back, though, this last year with Mike Smith, really praising him early in training camp and really, I think, kind of lighting a fire and expectation for him to really start out the season. But he finished the year with 27 tackles and 4 sacks. We saw him get 2 sacks against the Dolphins. We saw him get a sack in the first game against the Bears and against the Jets, too. So, quite honestly, here's the thing. I don't think that Patrick Jones II is necessarily going to be a starter, but I don't think he has to be. I think specifically what the Vikings are trying to do, both from a linebacker perspective as well as a DN perspective, I don't think he's going to be a guy that is as necessarily a starter DN/outside linebacker. But I think from a pass rush perspective, where was he most effective at Pitt? Pass rushing. That was literally it for him. Now, he wasn't an awful run defender, but just his first snap get off, we saw him squat 600 pounds too this offseason. Wow, that's pretty impressive. But overall, literally his first snap get off, his ability to bend the corner and really put a lot of heat on the quarterback early is something I think you really need to consider with him. And again, I don't know that he'll be a starter, but I think, you can be a guy that comes in, every other series and gives you a little bit of juice on the pass rush because let's face it, there were times last year where the Vikings pass rush was a little stagnant. And you can't sit here and tell me that Brian Flores isn't going to be a lot more aggressive. And I think that it does in turn kind of lead to a lot more sacks for everybody, a lot more success for everybody. We saw it with the Vikings in 2017 when they were really aggressive under Zimmer. All these different players were getting sacks, making plays because they were aggressive. They were willing to go after it and really let these pass rushers pin their ears back. And I think that's what we're going to see with Patrick Jones II, who, again, we saw glimpses of it last year where he, when given the opportunity, could pin his ears back and go get the quarterback. And I think he could end up being the secret weapon for the Vikings on defense and really help them take that pass rush and this defense to the next level. But let us know what you guys think about Patrick Jones II being the secret weapon for the Vikings on defense. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave that like and that comment because that helps people find us. We greatly appreciate all of you guys' support and all that. But at the end of the day, let us know what you guys think about Patrick Jones II being the secret weapon for the Minnesota Vikings on defense.